Second thing is I want to teach you how to make my marinara sauce. I'm a huge Italian food fan, and it makes the biggest difference when you can make a really healthy, super yummy salsa or sauce right at home. And so the key to any good salsa, especially Italian sauces, it always starts with tomatoes. And you definitely don't ever want to get the big round beefsteak type tomatoes. You want to get these. They have different names, sometimes they're called Roma or different things. And usually in the supermarket, they're not even this red. They're usually very orange. And so a really good habit to get into is once a week, buy a couple pounds, leave them in the kitchen. And as they start to ripen and really get red and really get soft on the outside, that's when you want to use them for your marinara sauce. The tomato is properly ripe, and it's going to give you the best flavor possible. And so the easiest way to make a marinara sauce, and I've made it the Italian way, and I actually prefer the way that they make their tomato sauces here in Mexico, and it bodes really well, especially when you don't want to stand over a stove and keep flipping the tomatoes in a frying pan to burn all the sides and different, which is a traditional Italian way. The way that they do it in Mexico is a little bit different, and basically all that they do is they steam them. You put a little bit of water into a pot and you steam the tomatoes, and usually what I do is that I'll be steaming the tomatoes as I'm getting the water ready for the pasta, and within 10 minutes time I have a full meal, whether it's for myself or for a bunch of people, ready to go. So specifically with the marinara, what we're going to do is we're just going to take the tomatoes out of the pot and put it into my Vitamix blender. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. If you want to add some Italian spices to it, you can. But the best marinaras just have tomatoes and salt, and that's it. And you let the tomatoes do the work. And so the way that I like to have my marinara sauce is a little on the chunky side. So I'll just turn the dial to number 1 on the blender, just so it's barely blending. And at that point, you have a really good marinara. Now what you can do is that if you want to cook out some of the water, if you want to reduce it a little bit, you just put it on the stove for a couple of minutes, and some of the extra water will cook out, and it'll intensify the flavor and make the sauce even thicker if that's the way that you like it. And so that is my secret marinara. There's nothing so secret about it. These are the secrets: good tomatoes. And if you get in the habit of just getting tomatoes early in the week, leave them out. They're going to ripen in your kitchen no matter what time of the year it is. And then when they're properly ready to go, then you can use them for your sauces. And if they're kind of in the in-between stages, this is great to use for sandwiches and salads.